Hello, everybody. I am going to try to throw together some really quick cards because I am still a little behind. So I just cut some card bases in red and green. We'll make a quick card using one stamp, but I'm going to do it a little differently today. Instead of using ink, I'm going to use markers and see how that comes out. Don't be shy. Say hello. Got one more to do here real quick. Hi, Melanie. Okay. Hello, Karen. Hi, Carrie. Karen. Hi, Roberta. Hi, Wilda. Okay, so I have two red card bases, and this was just some Stampin' Up! Christmas color pack I had, and two green ones. And then I have 4 pieces of, this is Nina Solar White, cut down to 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to be using this Merry Christmas pine cone in a frame stamp from Blue Knight Rubber Stamps. And the reason I wanted to use this was I wanted to use different color markers and see if I could give that some depth. And then later we'll come back in with the sentiment. It does come with 2 sentiments, Merry Christmas and Holiday Greetings. Hi, Anne. So I have it in my Mini Misty. I haven't used the stamp yet, so this is brand new. And then I just have my paper butted down to the corner here. And if we have to cut it down later, we'll cut it down. Let's see here. Karen has been watching Hallmark movies. I have been watching, my son and I have been watching, it's some kind of Practical Jokers or something. I don't know. It's a modern version of the prankster show. So it's very, very funny. It reminds me of my childhood. My dad used to watch like hidden camera shows. Okay. Hi, Judy. Hi, Bernadette. Okay, so I have a piece of paper in here, and I'm just going to start off with some coloring. I do have a little mini mister here in case we have to add some color, but I'm going to start with some lighter browns on the pine cone. And if you ever have questions with what your coloring should look like, I like to leave this out as a reference and just kind of look at it, go back to it. So I'm just going to start with this, and I'm going to be using these Arteza real water brush markers. And I'm going to color in pretty much the whole pine cone with this, I don't know what color this is, ginger. And these markers are pretty juicy and stay wet, so we'll see how this turns out. And this is a new stamp, so we'll see how it accepts the ink. Red rubber usually is a little easier to prime than clear rubber stamps are. Give that a little rub. Okay, so it's not bad. It's a little light. Ugh, extra magnet. Pull that up. Beware the magnets. All right, so I'm not totally unhappy with my pine cone, but I do want to go in and give it another layer here. Let's try this again. There we go. A little better. It almost looks like it has that almost like that watercolory look. We'll leave that marker out. Let's go to a little bit darker of a brown and see here. Just going to kind of do just splotch it on there. No rhyme or reason here, people. In the old days, we used to what's called huff on them, where you would take the stamp and you would blow on it. We'll see if that works. Huffing. That's a little better. I think that's a little too dark. Go a little lighter brown here. That one was called, by the way, walnut brown. No wonder it was dark. Here's one called tawny. Same thing, just going to splotch some tawny on there. Nothing special. Now for this one, I'm going to take a little bit of my Distress Mister and from far away, just give a little spritz. see how that works. Oh, that looks pretty cool. It really looks watercolored. I dig it. I think I need a little dark right in here. Okay, not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to move in with some green now because we have the, what would you call that? The pine boughs, right? So same thing. I have two greens here. This is turtle green and seaweed green. I don't think there's one that says, let me see here. Olive green. We'll try that. We'll do olive green and we'll do, what's this one? Olive green and seaweed green. Two different types of green there. See that? So I'm going to start with the olive green because it seems a little lighter. And again, just going to go in, and I like these brush tips because they're very wide. So they get a very wide range with their brush strokes. And I'm just going to do this one side for now and then stamp it down because we don't want it to dry too quickly on us. Yeah, La Plume were the first stamping markers, and they work great, and they last a long time too, Roberta. And I'm going to go over this side of the stamp. Can you guys see what's going on here? All right. And I'm not worried about the frame yet because we'll come back in and do some colors on the frame. Now I'm just going to go in with the darker color. And again, just kind of splotch that in. No rhyme or reason where I'm going here. Just adding some different shades of green. Thank you, Karen. And then what I do is I look at my image and I say, okay, so right here, I'm missing some color. So I'm going to take my time and just go right in and add a little more green there. But it really does give it a two-dimensional look with those layered colors. Just gives it a little more depth. Now I can see this pine cone. Well, not necessarily. The pine cone has a little, I guess you would call it a twig, right? So I'm going to take that dark brown and see if I can find that twig. I think it's right here. Stem. There we go. And a little more green down here, which is this guy. Yes, agreed, Roberta. I think this is, it's going to look like it's all fancy and stamped and drawn, and all it is a little marker coloring. Pretty simple. Okay, I like that. I think that looks cool. So you can leave it like this and stamp your sentiment, but I want to do the border. I'm going to leave my pens out here, and actually, I'm going to do the border. What color should we do the border? I wonder if I have like a golden, like a maize yellow color. Let's see here. Sunset yellow. Let's try this. And if I don't like it, it's light enough that I can always go over it, right? So let's go half here. Oh, I like that. Yes, the Misty keeps everything in line. If you miss a spot, just go back over it. And I like this green and this yellow are kind of mixing together. All right, that looks pretty cool. I really like that. So I don't want to move this out of the way because I want to do 3 other cards like this. I think I need a little more brown here. Let me grab my browns again. And just pouncing some of that color on there. All right, there we go. That looks pretty good. And I want to do the sentiment down here. So the stamp set came with this Merry Christmas, which I could easily just, take that off and stamp it down. But I am going to cheat. This is where we cheat. And we use the other Misty. So then what we do is we have one stamp lined up for that Misty. And then we're going to come over here and cheat and use this Misty. And we're going to line this up here. And hopefully I have it on there straight. Oh, got to take the foam out because it's a red rubber stamp. It's actually a frame. I'll show it to you up close here in a second, Roberta. As my magnets snap together. Magnets everywhere. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to eyeball this on this side of the frame. Looks pretty straight to me. Pretty good. And I think we're going to go traditional here and use some bright red. So we have red, 101 red it's called. And it's great. You don't have to be great at coloring because it's a stamp. You only really want the ink on the top. And because you're using the Misty, you can get ink all over and it's not going to matter. Now, if you wanted to use a regular ink pad, you could do that too. I feel like the brush strokes kind of transfer over in the stamping and it really makes it look like we've colored it. And one more. And again, if you wanted that watercolored look, just spritz it with a little water. It'll cause your colors to bleed a little bit, but that's okay because that's really what gives it that watercolored look, is that little bit of bleeding when it's a little messy. It gives it kind of like this vintagey look. I like it. All right, so let me show you guys an up close of this. So here you can see the pine cone, and it looks very dimensional just because we used a couple different colors. And then we have the green in the tree branch, and I probably could have put a little more color in there. You know, the other thing you can do is, because these are wide open spaces, is we could actually go back in. We're going to color this one. If you wanted to, totally optional. I'm going to take this other green, which is crocodile green, and very lightly going to go in and flick into those pine boughs. Now we're going to get artsy here. We have the deeper outlines from the actual stamp. Just depending on how much time you want to spend. You don't have to do this. You can just leave it where it was and it looks fine. Or if you want to spend a little bit more time making it look a little fluffier, a little more artsy, just go in with a marker and color it in. And I'm just very lightly flicking the marker, not using a lot of pressure. I'm not pushing down. I'm not staying in the lines. I like that better. What do you guys think? And then we can go back into the pine cone. And let me find that lighter color again. All I'm doing here is just coloring the lighter areas of the pine cone that were left white. Totally simple, and it really looks like, oh, you took the time to draw that? Nope, I stamped it, and it was all 2 stamps. Pretty cool, right? And then we would just glue that down. So let's do another one. For the second one, I'm going to use I'm going to use mini ink cubes so we can see how that looks with mini ink cubes. And then we'll go back to some other coloring methods. Let me just move those out of the way. Just take another piece of paper. Down. And then I have on the side of my desk, I have one of these little mini ink cube trays, and I save all my little kits of inks, and I have some Altenew inks. So let's go in, and I'm going to start with the green first, and I have some Hero Arts from the Hero Art monthly kits. And I'm going to, I have like a lighter and a darker. I'm sorry, I don't know the names of these because they came in the little kits. And I'm just going to go through and easily stamp those little pine boughs, sprigs, fir, whatever, fir sprigs. So I did the lighter color first. Ooh, I really like that. That's cool. Then some darker. For the darker, I'm going to stay towards the middle. Yeah, nothing special. And it's okay if it gets on your pine cone because we're going to do the pine cone brown. Ooh, I like that better already. I might switch to the ink cubes. Plus, that was way faster. All right, so let's see. What do we have in brown? Okay, we have some Altenew browns here. So I have, let's do Rocky Shores. And these are little mini Altenew cubes. And we're just going to do our pine cone. And you just want to use a little corner when you get around the edges of your pine cone. Let's see how this turns out. Wow. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the darker mocha. Just kind of splotching him in the middle. And one more time, we're going to go in with a little espresso. And just, again, randomly splotching him in spots there. That's a really dark brown. We'll see how that turns out. Look at, that was way faster. Way prettier. Okay, so now we have to do our frame. And I like that golden yellow look. So let me see what I have here. Aha. I have a Hero Arts one in that same similar color. So for this one, we're just going to go around the frame. See how that works. Oh, that's cool. It gave it like this ombre look around where it was already green from the pine cones. I'm not going to mess with this one. I really like this one. That was so super quick and easy. There's a lot. I don't know if you guys can differentiate between the colors. It looks like so much more dimension in this one. So one has a more vintage look. One has a little more modern, classic look. Let's go into the sentiment. So the cool thing is, because these stamps were all lined up together and the paper is all the same size, everything should match up pretty well. And I'm going to go in with some red. We have some Hero Arts red here. Trying to stay in frame for you guys so you can see everything I'm doing. These little mini cubes come in handy. Oh, it's so pretty. I think I like this one better. Just depending on what kind of look you're going for. So here's the first one we did with the markers. And I think that this, because of the brush strokes in there, it really does give it a vintagey kind of look. It's just not as neat. There's some imperfections in it, which is cool. And then this one, a little more cleaner, crisper lines, a little more classic looking. So just depending on what you want to go for there. I'm going to cut these down. Let's put these on some card bases here. But you could see how easy it would be to mass produce a couple of cards. All right, let's see here. I'm going to try to cut this down to 5 by 3 3/4. Let's see if we can get that to fit. Oh, 5 is perfect. 5 is perfect. Just going to cut a tiny sliver off of here. And of course, you could fussy cut it if you were so inclined. I'm not a fussy cutter. That's not bad. Uh-oh. My trimmer didn't cut the bottom. There we go. And then I have my card bases here. So we'll do one on green and one on red. And some of you guys asked, I'm using this May Art glue. It says art glitter glue, but it is not for glitter. But I like this glue because it is a liquid glue, but it dries super fast. Now, if you're not real good at straightening your projects, I love the Mono Multi liquid glue because it gives you a little wiggle time. But if you don't need that wiggle time, this glue goes down and it sticks. It's super strong. So this, you guys told me about this glue and I love it. And I'm glad you recommended it to me. Oh, we need a border here. Can't glue that straight down. some green paper. I'll cut this down to 5 1/4 by 4 so it borders it. And then you could run this through if you had somewhere I have an embossing folder that would like has like fake like tree things coming out of it. You know, woodsy looking. Now we'll put this down. Pretty. Okay. Speaking of woodsy looking, let's use some wood paper on this other one. I just looked over and saw the wood paper. Pine cones and wood, they go together. Let's do this guy here. I love this wood paper. I need to get some more. So those of you that are going to Pittsburgh tomorrow for the Brutus Monroe store celebration, I'm very envious of you guys. Have a great time. I will be with you in spirit. I will be working, so I won't be able to go, but hopefully next year I'll get a chance. Oh, I really like how that stands against the wood. And then if you wanted to tie a piece of twine around there or put a little twine ribbon on there, you could do that. Let's see here. Where's our little ribbon thing? Let's see what we can do here. Let's jazz it up a little bit. I had to put together these baskets of goodies for some clients, and they are like, oh, Nancy can do it. You know, she's the artsy craftsy one. And I'm like, you guys have no idea. I cannot tie ribbons. And hi, Tracy. They're all like laughing because I have this like huge boxes with these big silver ribbons and trying to tie these bows around them. And I was like, yeah, I give up. I'm not going to be able to do this. Okay, so we have our little twine bow here. And we're not doing anything fancy here. I'll put a little glue dot on there. Tracy, I was just saying, for those of you that are going to the Brutus Monroe store thing tomorrow, I'm jealous and envious of you guys. I'll be with you in spirit. Oh, that's supposed to be a mini dot. That's a big mini. Let's go with a smaller one. I know, I have to work, Tracy. I will try next year. I lost my my partner manager, so I'll be at the store. Oh, that's super cute. What do you guys think? So there you go. 2 different ways of coloring a card. We did it with just little mini ink cubes for a more refined, classic, cleaner look if you don't want to do the messy, artsy look. And then we did it with markers, which gave a little more of an artsy look, a little more vintage looking. Personal preference, what you want to do there. So that's all I have for you guys today. The stamp set that I used again was from Blue Knight Rubber Stamps, and it is called the Pine Cone in a Frame stamp. And again, it comes with the pine cone stamp with the frame, and it comes with the Merry Christmas and the holiday greetings, so you get both sentiments that you can use on the cards. All right, guys. So I hope that gave you another way to use your stamps and to use your inks and your markers and all the other things that we hold dear to us. Thank you for watching. As always, if you have any questions, post them down below. I will link the supplies for you in the comment section once I have this uploaded. And if you like this video, you can scroll up and give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my videos, I'll put a little link in the corner. Click on that, and then if you click on the bell, you'll get notifications every time I post a video or when I'm live. And I will see you guys again this weekend. Have a good night. Bye.